Hello guys, today class we will discuss about the Java. What is Java? Java is a programming language. Actually we know that the different types of language like Hindi, English and Urdu, Farsi. There are different types of language, different types of medium to communicate with each other. So Java is also a types of language by which we discuss some thoughts and our requirement with the computer. So there are different types of rules and regulations in different types of languages like Hindi, English. Same things, Java also contain a different types of rules and regulations like suppose that we want to represent the number, then we have to represent number in the form of int. That's called data types. So now we are writing to what is data type. Data type is a way of to represent the types of data. Like data means it is a types of information. The information may be any form like number, string, text and array, object. There are different types of data type that we will discuss after later. And so we are going to tell you about the data types. There are different types of data types like int, string, float and double, long. What is int? We will discuss one by one. Int is a integer types of data. Integers means we can represent here number like natural numbers like 1, 2, 3. We can also start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on here. And string is a types of words where we define where we will define words like suppose that university, college, college. String is a data type where we define our data and our information in the double quotes like this or this. It may be single quotes or double quotes. This is information and text. Float is also a number types where we define in the form of decimal form like 1.2, 3.7, 0.06 and so on. This is a types of numbers. Decimal numbers, the all types of decimal number we will define in the form of float. And double is a also a number types where we will define number like int and long are the same data types, but here we can short range define. Here we can define short range number and here we will define long range number. Right? And double is same as float, this and this. And here the float we will define the number like we will define number same same decimal form like 1 2 3 1.3758 and 75278 point and so on. So the only difference between integer define the short range number and long is define this long range number. Same things, Float define the short range decimal number, and double is define the long range decimal number, and string define only words and letters in the form of string. So now we will discuss with one example, like what is, how we will execute our code and how we will communicate with the computer. We communicate with the computer in the form of programming language, because computer only understand two two numbers, 0 and 1. So there are different types of software in the background that's convert our programming language in the form of 0 and 1, that's called binary numbers. Here we will discuss our the message in the first message in the 1 minute. I am taking a call. हाँ बताओ. बोलो यार, मैं लेक्चर शुरू कर रहा हूँ. बताओ किसके साथ जा रहा हूँ. अच्छा तो ठीक है, मैं देख, ठीक है देखता हूँ. Alright, sorry for that. Here we will represent the first message in the Java programming language. Suppose that I want to print some message like print ln, print ln, no, system dot out dot println honesty. Suppose that I am writing honesty is the best policy, right? Here we will replace semicolon. It is mandatory to tell to the compiler if we are going to finish our line. Here we will print the honesty is the best policy is printed. Same thing. Suppose that we want to add two numbers in the Java programming language, then we have to define which types of number we want to add. Like suppose that I want to only natural numbers, like so we will define with the help of integer a. Here a is a container, I will define it later. A is equals to 5 and int b is equals to 7. Now I want to add some of these numbers, then system dot out dot println sum of a plus b. When I run our program, then it will represent the, it will show the our output. This is 12. Suppose that I want to integrate our message, these things, this types, sum of two number is equals to this, right? This is the sum of two numbers in the form of, I want to represent this sum in the form of bracket. It is considered this separate value, so I will use bracket here to represent the sum of two numbers. The sum of two numbers is 12. Suppose that I want to sum two decimal numbers like 5.6 and 5.7.6, 5.4 and 7.6. Then we cannot complete this execution because we are representing our number in the form of decimal, but we mention here integer type. So integer type doesn't support the decimal values, it support only integer values. So we will, if we run our program, then it will show some error. That's that. It is showing incompatible possible lossy conversion. Lossy conversion means it is you are lost some values, so we will convert it into float. float, and here we will also give float value. Now we will run our program. Bit float and float incompatible lossy. We also define here float types of float. Now it will run properly. The sum of two numbers is 13.0. It will also return the sum in the form of decimal value. It's called decimal number, and this is also a decimal number. Right? And this is types of string. String we define here. This is the string message. Right? And next thing is, this is double. This is long range of decimal values, and this is a short long range of integer values. So we are executing our program in the form of short range value, and this is decimal value program. Next I want to show that what is variable. Here I use variable. Suppose that I take this code and paste another place to explain it properly. Right? Okay. Here we will represent what is A. A. 1 minute. A. Short. Here A is a container. Container means is a container where we contain the value of a number. This is value A we are storing in the A variable, and B is also a container to store the value of 7.6, and here we are going to sum with the help of A plus B. It will represent the sum of two numbers, and this is the class main. There are this library of the programming languages Java library, and this is also a Java library. It is a predefined. It's a predefined method. Predefined rule in Java. This. Here are also some different types of this is operators. What is operator? Operator means the types of operations. Suppose that we want to perform some operation in our numbers like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So there are some different types of operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, increment and decrement. Addition means we know that addition is used to add two numbers, subtraction is used to subtract two numbers, and multiplication is used to multiply two numbers, and so on. Here modulus means it will represent the it will return the remainder of two numbers when we want to divide two numbers. Suppose that I want to divide 7 with 2, then what will be remainder here? The remainder is 1. So 7 modulus 2 is equals to 1. This is remainder value. And increment means division return the quotient. That's we know here quotient is The question is here 3 and remainder is 1, right? What is increment and decrement? 1 minute, I erasing this. Increment and decrement. Increment is used to increment of any number. Suppose that I have a two numbers. I have a single numbers like 5, and we will make increment of this number, then it will return 6, right? And second is decrement. Suppose that I want to decrement of 5, then it will return 4 value. This is decrement, right? Suppose that we how to execute this program. Suppose that I want to increment of two number like int a is equals to int c is equals to 5 plus println system dot println. I am using shortkey to perform efficiently task like C, it will return, and D is decrement of. I am giving in the form of pre-increment and pre-decrement. I will explain it later. Pre-increment and pre-decrement. C and D. Here answer of this question here will be here will print 6 after increment, and here will print 4 after decrement. Let's run it. That's an expected error. 1 minute. CMD we have to define integer println. Unexpected receipt is this. Int suppose that println required variable. I also use variable.